When a fiberglass pole breaks, you can see how the tent kind of leans to one side. See that one pole right there is broken and it leans a lot more aggressively. So I'll show you how you can fix it. Need to remove the elastic shock cord. We have plenty of elastic, so we'll just cut the knot off. Move the elastic until we get to our broken pole here. This fiberglass shock cord is split in half. Years ago I put epoxy on it and this tape, and it worked for years. We've got another solution we're going to try this time. Since the tape is flexible, we're going to use wire, and that's going to hold this together a lot tighter. With a knife, I'll scrape off all the old epoxy. I'll use this aluminum tube inside the fiberglass rod to make sure that the hole does not get filled with epoxy. I'll put it right through the center. We'll mix up the epoxy, add the epoxy to the edge of the fiberglass. We'll take this wire and we're going to wrap it nice and tight all around the fiberglass shock tube. We don't want to put any on this edge because that's going to slip into the metal collar. This wire is nice and tight, and you just kind of work it in with the glue so it sticks to the rod. I'm going to add some epoxy to the wire to make sure it sticks to the pole. We'll take this aluminum rod and we'll run it all the way through to make sure that the shock cord itself will be able to go through. With some electrical tape, we're going to wrap all of this nice and tight to make sure it fits together. Here's the fixed rod. I'll let it dry for 24 hours. We'll set it up and see how it does. Thread the shock cord back through all the fiberglass rods. For the last rod, you may have to tape the shock cord onto the pole because it's under tension. Run a thin piece of copper through the pipe and tie it onto the string. Then pull everything through. This is the last pole. In fact, we put our damaged one at the bottom because there's going to be a lot less stress on the bottom pole. Tie about 5 knots in the end. It's got to be a really big knot. Drop the knot into the pole. Before you go out and buy new poles, you might try something like this. Everything seems nice and stable. Didn't cost any money, took a little bit of time, but everything's back and working.